In the headlines, anxiety as bandits kidnap 46 persons in Kaduna State. Maiduguri residents groan high cost of running generators. Drama as ex-CBN governor takes oath of office as governor of Anambra State. And on the foreign scene, deadly 7.4 magnitude quake shakes eastern Japan, prompting tsunami warning. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Now the news in full. Bandits have abducted at least 46 people in Agunu Dutse, Agunu ward of Kache local government area of Kaduna State. A resident of the community, Maurice Tanko, who confirmed the attack, said the bandits injured one person from the community, Abubakar Sule, presently receiving treatment in a medical facility. Meanwhile, the police public relations officer, ASP Muhammad Jaligi, did not respond to inquiries on the attack. Meanwhile, joint security operatives comprising the Niger Army, the police and members of the Niger State Vigilante Corps have neutralized over 100 bandits and repelled attempted attack on a police division in Bangui, the headquarters of Mariga local government area of Niger State. The chief press secretary to Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, Mary Berge, confirmed the attack. The governor commended the joint security operatives for their gallantry in repelling the attack and killing scores of bandits, and commiserated with the family of an inspector who lost his life during the gun duel. The State Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Internal Security, Emmanuel Umar, said over 100 bandits were neutralized, while 50 motorcycles were recovered during the operation. And following kidnapping of 4 students along Kaduna-Suleja Road 2 days ago, parents and colleagues of the victims staged a protest to Government House Ilorin to plead with Kwara State government to intervene in ransom payments. 3 of the victims are students of Bayero University, Kano, and another one from a higher institution in Jigawa State. They were kidnapped while returning home due to the 8 weeks extension of strike by Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. This parent says he has been contacted by those who kidnapped his son, demanding 20 million naira as ransom. A representative of the students says 7 million naira is demanded by the abductors, claiming that one of the students might have been killed.
Months. After 1 month, they do meeting with federal government. The federal government agree with them, ASU. That's why they say make it come home because of the extent this try to 2 months again. So I know they no fee stay there again. Make they come home. So that's why I send the money to him. So along the way, now they come after Kaduna Express Road to Suleja, and I kidnap them. All the people were inside the bus, they kidnap them. The children were inside the bus, around 4 students of the school, different school. Jigawa students 2 and the other school there. They kidnap them. So that is why. They demand for 20 million for the one person. So they don't call me now, sir. They don't say how much have we get it. My son call me. He say, I never get money. They give them people but say, they don't have time to say that 20 million, that's what a year be that. Bring money. I want to make government to help us to bring our children back to home. Help us pay the bill. The day for the students.
Early yesterday, I heard that 2 of our students coming because of ASU strike. The Abdulrazak Kauzara going to Kaduna to go and spend a little time with his sister, our sister. So they are inside room around 12 o'clock. They are about to eat themselves. So with one other guy, they kidnapped them. So from reliable source now, they say their parent called us today that they demanded for 7 million naira. Now, as at this point now, we are trying to know who are those that called them.
And now to legislative matters, where the fight against corruption gets a boost as the Nigerian Senate passed a bill to amend the Money Laundering Act 2011. The upper chamber passed the bill after consideration by the Committee of the Whole. The report.
The passage of the bill tagged Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022 followed the consideration of a report by the Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes. Chairman of the committee, Senator Suleiman Abdulkwari, in his presentation, said the bill seeks to repeal the institutional and legal framework on money laundering prohibition in Nigeria. The provisions of the bill in Section 12 prohibits the opening of anonymous accounts in fictitious name and shell banks. In other words, banks with no physical presence in the country.
Stakeholders support the passage of this bill in view of its importance and relevance to the anti-corruption drive of the present administration, as well as the time-bound relevance of the FATF expectations. The enactment of this bill will also resolve the institutional issues regarding establishment of the Special Control Unit against Money Laundering, SCUMO, under the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment, being implemented by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. That the bill seeks to introduce certain supervisory and enforcement mechanisms through the imposition
for an act to repeal the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2011 as amended and enact the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022 to provide comprehensive legal and institutional framework for the prevention and prohibition of money laundering in Nigeria, establish the Special Control Unit under the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and for other related matters, 2022, third reading taken, and the bill is hereby passed. Clearly, this is one piece of legislation that will help the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in fighting money laundering and corruption in general. Laws are meant to bring and sustain sanity, and wherever we find the laws not bringing that kind of expected benefit, we need to look at them and ensure that we work on them for us to achieve our target.
The enactment of this bill will resolve the institutional issues regarding the establishment of special control units against money laundering under the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment, being implemented by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission.
And pensioners in Edo State take to the streets to protest non-payment of entitlements. The pensioners came out in numbers, causing vehicular gridlock at the Oba Ovarome Square. They were demanding payment of their entitlements, such as gratuity and harmonization of monthly pension. The report.
They are also asking the state government to pay those screened in April 2017. According to them, yellow cards have been collected and local government pensioners who retired in 2017 are yet to receive their gratuities.
We are putting a very youthful years in serving this state, in particular Nigeria in general. It's a rounding of faith that we are not suffering at our old ages. For instance, some of our members who retired in 1996, let me just put it that way, is what they have been getting since 1996, they are still getting today. Those who retired 2000, lucky retired, compared to 2000, what they were getting 2000, what they are still getting today. It may be surprised that we see a pension in those states where it is 400 naira a month. I repeat, 400 naira a month. The pension bureau office is there for you to go and verify. We have pensioners in those states who are 2,000 naira for more than 20, 30 years. Their pension money pay have been static. Nobody cares about them. Recall that the immediate past governor left here 2016. As soon as the very week he left, the State of Assembly then work out 200 million naira for Shomole, 100 naira for his deputy as pension. What before then, people have been on ground unattended to for many years ago.
I retired 2000. That's 2000. I have been on the salary of 9,000 some hundred since that time to this today, even till tomorrow. Even on the 13th, I receive a lot, the same amount of money. Nothing more than that. All these are the adjustments, nothing made.
The governor graciously set up money that they should use in paying accumulation of local government pension arrears. Pension arrears means until you are placed on pension, the month that they didn't place you is the arrears. They started payment 1982. They group us in batches, batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, batch 4, batch 5, batch 6, and put estimated of 300,000, 300,000 to be paid. Among all these badges, there's not one single badge that was cleared.
Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shuaibu, appealed to the protesters to be calm as the committee has been set up to look into their grievances and suggest a payment plan.
The time frame will be determined by their committee. You know why I said the time frame will be determined by their committee? Because they need to go into those documents to check what they have. Then the chairman, your chairman or your executive will go with HOS now. They will sit down, and when they discuss, he will come back to give you feedback of the time frame. So please, he is the chairman. When they go back now, the chairman will give you feedback of the timelines, because they will have to go back, sit with them, with the HOS committee, look at it. They will not give you the appropriate right time. And I can tell you it's not a long time. Issue of pensions are not issues we keep for long because of the sensitivity. So I want to please first apologize for you people to have come here to stay under the sun.
Normalcy, however, returned as the angry pensioners left the road with the hope that the committee will get to work and provide solutions in no distant time.
And fuel scarcity in Maiduguri is taking its toll on residents who face twin problems of power outages and high cost of fuel. Residents use fuel to power electricity generators as Maiduguri has been without public power supply for over 12 months now due to destruction of facilities and major power lines by Boko Haram insurgents. The report.
Many residents have been using petrol for their generating sets at home, offices and businesses since January 2021. The scarcity triggers fuel price hike from 165 naira to 400 naira per litre, worsening a bad situation with transport fares and the cost of goods and services going up. Commercial charging of mobile phones moved from 30 naira to 50 naira. School children, especially from poor background, are also suffering from the scarcity, as hike in transport fares prevents some of them from attending school.
It's not easy, especially for women. We didn't even have lights. It's up to so we are depend on the petrol alone. Okay. And for us to get it at the rate of this is a problem for us. We have to queue, long queue, before we get it. Then it's not easy for us as business people, because for us to increase the price of our product, it's very hard. People are complaining, but there's no even money in circulation.
Honestly, fuel price hike is affecting our business. Coming from home, you pay high transport fare, and the same applies here. Purchasing fuel for our generators is another thing. A litre will not take you anywhere.
Although power supply has been restored in some parts of Maiduguri, but the distribution company in charge of electricity is still struggling to restore electricity supply in some parts of the city.
A gas tanker exploded at Ijora Pallet Junction beside Lagos Homes Estate at Ijora Badia on Thursday in Lagos State. The Acting Zonal Coordinator, Southwest Zonal Office, National Emergency Management Agency, Ibrahim Farinloye, who confirmed the incident in a statement in Lagos, said earlier some passers-by drew the attention of the driver that the tanker loaded with 20,000 metric tons of liquefied natural gas was leaking. Meanwhile, firefighters and a team from Ijora Badia Police Division were on ground to secure lives and property. No life was lost in the incident. Former Central Bank Governor Charles Soludo took the oath of office alongside his deputy Onyeka Ibezim in his inaugural speech. Soludo promised to hit the ground running, noting that some key members of his cabinet will be announced soon. Soludo, during the swearing-in ceremony, appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari for allowing the will of the Anambra people to prevail. His stakeholders, his supporters, the police, and the people of Anambra State for their roles in his election last November. At the inauguration, the wife of the outgoing governor of Anambra State, Ebelechukwu Obiano, and Biaka Ojukwu got into a messy fight. Now to politics, where the newly elected chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Iyorchia Ayu, has stated that under his leadership, the party has resolved most of its internal crises, especially those regarding state chapters of the party. The chairman made this known during the party's National Working Committee meeting, which held at its National Secretariat in Abuja. He added that with the challenges aside, the PDP is set to return to its winning ways. The report.
The party chairman called on all aggrieved members of the party to sheath their swords and settle their differences internally.
The fact that we made a mistake along the line and Nigeria lost confidence doesn't mean that that is impossible. It is still possible, because with unity everything is possible. I call on every member of this party to forget their differences. If there are differences, we must settle such differences in-house. No party member should attack another party member.
Ayu also added that the party will soon return to its winning ways as majority of the issues in the party has been resolved.
We are happy to say that since January, this NWC, which we put in place, has been able to resolve a lot of issues in our state chapters. We immediately had to address the issues of various elections. And I'm happy to say that in all those elections, with the cooperation of all our members, the party was able to return to its winning ways.
Behind me is the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party and the venue of its National Executive Council meeting, as well as its Board of Trustees meeting, where it is expected that crucial issues regarding the party ahead of the 2023 general elections will be addressed. Now, surrounding me are supporters of various aspirants who are at the Secretariat to blow the trumpet of their preferred candidates, as well as a few who are clamoring for an end to the dispensation of elderly candidates to give way to young and vibrant Nigerians to take over the affairs of the country.
This is the Take Back Nigeria movement, and their call is for the PDP to nominate the best candidates to contest in the 2023 presidential election. They believe that candidate is Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State.
After searching all the candidates in PDP, we have identified Obi as that one. We need somebody that understands what it means to shut down the cost of governance, and that everybody knows is Obi's biggest threat. We are equally ready to challenge anybody who says their candidate is the best to come to the national TV and debate us.
Just across is also the amalgamated Atiku support group, who are also insisting that the former vice president remains the solution to Nigeria's problems.
When we talk about capacity, we talk about experience. Atiku has gone through the process. He has been in the ship. He rode the ship in before now as a vice president, and he came out. All right. So he has the experience, he has the finance, he has the crowd. I mean, the other candidates, well, good for them. We will see at the ring. You know, it is not about the noise. It's about the finals.
Retired Colonel Chinyere Obi is, however, of the opinion that the time has come for young Nigerians to take over the affairs of the country.
We have suffered enough. The youth now supposed to be what? Supposed to vote, to come out. Let them go. I am 73 and Tinubu is telling me that he's 60 something, so I'm his senior. Now they have come out. They will now come and eat popcorn for road. They will eat corn. But when they enter there, that is the end. They will never remember the young ones. It's not that way. Women are suffering. Look at them. 1,000 to 2,000, they are standing because there's no food and they are hungry, right? And when they vote on them, when they enter, they will forget them. Why are they using black Jeep every time? Because their heart is black. You people should fight for Nigeria. Nigeria is gone. Let the youth come out and fight for Nigeria.
Zakir Ibrahim reporting for Trust TV.
Meanwhile, National Chairman, Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Maimala Buni, says activities initiated and executed under the Acting Chairman and Governor of Niger State, Abubakar Sani Bello, remain effective. The National Chairman stated this in a statement he personally signed on Thursday. He called on all stakeholders to support the move towards a successful convention of the party and disregard reports that his led executive suspended all arrangements made by the Acting Chairman. You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break, excavation of Oshun artifacts. This and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Trust TV News Update. Now look at our top stories. Bandits have abducted at least 46 people in Agunu Dutse, Agunu Ward of Kache Local Government Area of Kaduna State. And fuel scarcity in Maiduguri is taking its toll on residents who face twin problems of power outages and high cost of fuel. Now moving on to other stories, the constitutional amendment by the State Houses of Assembly, staff of local government councils, judiciary, parliaments in North Central Geopolitical Zone have asked State Houses of Assembly in the region to support the quest for autonomy. A rally to achieve this objective was held by Nigeria Labour Congress in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Abubakar Abdullahi attends the rally and now reports.
Already done at the National Assembly and expected to be done at the 36 State Houses of Assembly, the voting on the constitutional amendment, these workers from the local government councils, judiciary and parliamentarian staff led by the Nigerian Labour Congress embark on this rally for a common demand, which is their autonomy as contained in the ongoing constitutional amendment by the National Assembly. Having trekked for a distance along Shandam Road, Lafia, to the premises of Nasarawa State House of Assembly, leaders of the union asked members of the Nasarawa State House of Assembly to reflect on what the National Assembly did by voting in favor of autonomy of local government, judiciary, and parliamentarian staff when the document is presented before them.
Similar events took place at the national level, and we had almost 100% votes in support of the autonomy of the legislature, judiciary, and the local government. Today we are here before you to equally advocate for support from you. Mr. Speaker, this is your project because it affects you directly. The autonomy is one of the key ingredients of good governance. We want to have 100% vote.
The federal government is assessing their own government. The state governors are assessing their own money. Why is local government not assessing their own?
Oni of Ife, Oba Ade Enitan Ogusi, unveils ancient Igbo Lokun heritage site in Ile-Ife, Osun State, after an archaeologist, Dr. Babatunde Babalola, carried out excavation work at the site, digging out some ancient artifacts. The report.
Dr. Babalola is a researcher with British Museum, and he says the Olokun bronze head believed to represent the king was excavated at the site in 1910 by locals for a German anthropologist, Leo Frobenius.
This site is called the Olokun, I think partly because the famous Olokun bronze head was excavated here in 1910. And that is the picture of the Olokun head that was excavated here in 1910 for a German anthropologist, Leo Frobenius. So when he came here in 1910, somebody dug up, the locals, of course, dug up this bronze head, and it's what we know now all over the world. But the significance of this site lies on the fact that this is where indigenous Yoruba glass technology was invented, and there was, a very intensive production of glass bead at this site, dated to 11th century through 15th century. So we are talking about over 1,000 years ago.
The Oni of Ife expressed joy over the discovery, vowing to trace Yoruba artifacts taken away over the years and bring them back for the common use of all Yorubas.
For all our artifacts and antiquities to come back, we need to create a very good base. It's another thing to celebrate returning it back. It's another thing to plug it appropriately for the common use of all of us. So those are things we want to actually establish first, within things we have within our confines in terms of archaeological means and anthropological means. And that's why we're working in conjunction with a lot of universities. Thank God for University of Ife that is here, and so many other universities, University of Ibadan, Cambridge University, Harvard University, they are all partnering with us. So for us to return, it will now be very seamless to bring them back.
Now look at the foreign scene, where at least 4 people were reported dead and more than 100 injured in Japan on Thursday after a powerful overnight earthquake rattled large parts of the east coast and prompted a tsunami warning. The 7.4 magnitude quake off the coast of Fukushima derailed a bullet train, opened cracks in highways, and threw products from shelves in shops. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. Don't forget, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for joining us.